Another 5 more minutes or so. And who joined in Linwood?
Oh, it's 2 day.
Okay.
Thank you.
You had the car issue last time, right? Too?
Yeah. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Taking a few minutes to just mark you guys, whoever joined in sync and all that. Off the lights. I think it's a little bit too bright. Is that okay if I put on them? It's, um, first, can you hear me okay? And can you see me okay for folks joining via Zoom and in Linwood? All good?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
We can't see your screen though.
Yeah, I stopped sharing. I'll start sharing. You'll see it when I start sharing. Okay. All right. Sorry, if you're hearing me, I'm not able to see Adam.
I'm right here.
I can hear you, I can't see you. I'm gonna shift your, yep. Great, thank you. Okay, so what I thought I will do is basically go a little bit over the summary. I know that there are folks who joined later, and I have quite a few here joining in Des Moines. And of course, I have folks joining in Linwood. And then we have folks joining via Zoom. If you're interested in knowing what the structure of a class is called, it's called HighFlex, where basically, except for us, you guys are, some of you are in the Des Moines section, some of you are in the Linwood section, one of you is in the Pierce section. So if you're on campus, we want you to attend on campus because we have our DE technicians joining. We have a lot of infrastructure that goes along with having on campus. But of course, for our Zoom section, people who are on the U section, and those are mostly online students and folks from Ellensburg, they are able to have that, have a synchronous or asynchronous option. Now, having said that, I do have, if you have a medical exception, or if there is something that, happens and you're not able to attend that particular day, I will send you a recorded lecture, but that's not something we encourage just because we have all our technicians on campus too, as well as you're able to see each other in person. And I will be, obviously I was in Linwood last week. I call myself the traveling professor just because I travel all around. And then I will be in Des Moines. I am in Des Moines today. And there will be some days that I will also join by Zoom, and I'll let you know if that's the case. But next week I am anticipating being in Linwood. So usually that's just how I would follow, and Zoom, of course, Zoom folks can join from anywhere. And I see Molly has joined, so I'm going to just mark Molly just for purpose of attendance. Great. So let's share. Start talking about digital marketing strategy. But before that, I would like to go through, as I said, go over the structure of the class. And as I said, it's DE and online. The only difference between DE and online is more your in-class participation exercises. You start in class talking with your group, but then you do have to submit it individually on campus. For folks who are joining synchronously, you would be put in a meeting room or in a breakout room, I guess, via Zoom, and you can start your discussions there. For people who are joining asynchronously in the U section, they would have to view the recorded lecture and also write a summary, which is not the case for folks joining in person and synchronously. So that part is just for the asynchronous students. I know there are quite a few folks here joining us today and could not attend on Jan 7th. In Des Moines, could you please introduce yourself? Who was not here? I know Long was not here, right? Could you introduce yourself? Speak loudly so that everyone can hear.
So I'm Long Chen. My major is business administration in general business.
In general business. And we had a question Long last time was, what are the expectations in a class like this from your perspective? So I'll tell you, a lot of the folks who attended last time all talked about things like communication, open communication between students and instructor, team spirit, and so on and so forth. What are some of your expectations when you're joining a class?
So I want to gain the most knowledge and information about digital marketing.
You want to gain the most knowledge and information about digital marketing. Great. And you guys all attended last time, right? All four of you attended. Great. We have a few attending in Linwood who is joining for the first time, and that's Jiang. Am I saying that right?
Yes, you can call me Holly.
Holly, okay, Holly.
Yeah, it's easier.
Yeah, definitely. Holly, if you can introduce your major and then also talk about what expectations do you have in a class like this?
Yes. So like my major is business administration as well. And like I also like as in the introduction discussion, I'm learning to how to like manage like a small business. And also like because like the digital marketing is a big like is approach customer in different ways. So I want to learn and like I want to know like how I can reach more customer for that business.
Is your major general business or?
Yes.
Great. How about you two?
Yeah, my name's Tu Dang. I majored in supply chain management and finance. My expectation is that while the class isn't something that I'm gonna be primarily like be using in my career, it'll be something like good to know to supplement anything that I do. I still think like the class has like like good chunk of knowledge that will benefit me, like in my career.
And I have to say that digital marketing is probably something that is extremely valid across whether you're talking about supply chain or anything that you do really. We have had quite a few accountants who have taken this class because they wanted to market themselves as an independent accountant at some point in their career. So again, a very valid course. And especially Forbes just came out and I posted that link, I think, on Canvas. Digital marketing, along with some of the other engineering fields like AI and cloud and so on and so forth, digital marketing is in the top 5 hard skills to learn in 2025. So definitely something that is super valuable. So definitely go through it, reflect on the course materials, and just kind of seep it in. That's what I would say. Okay, and I need to see since on. Okay, folks who are joining, Evie, would you introduce yourself and kind of talk about the expectations in class?
Oh,
I
yeah,
know-
sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Evie. I'm majoring in supply chain management, and also I take some entrepreneurship class. And I think marketing is something really supporting to their entrepreneurship. And my dream is open my own shops later, like after 5 or 7 years working in a company for some experience and skills to develop like something. And yeah, marketing is something major, really interesting to me now.
Who else wants to go in the Zoom session who did not attend last time? You want to introduce yourself?
I'll introduce myself.
Dominic, yep.
My name is Dominic. I'm a third year here at Ellensburg, and I'm a marketing major. And yeah, marketing has just kind of always intrigued my interest due to the fact, like, especially now with how much social media has an influence on everyday items that we purchase. And I just think it'd be a good class to take and to learn about how just social media and the way that technology is growing and how just marketing is evolving as a whole. So yeah.
You're in the perfect class because the whole simulation that we are going to do in this course is social media marketing. So
Perfect.
a lot about social media from there too. Great, welcome, Dominic. Who else was there? Was not there? Hania, I don't think you were there, right? Last time?
Yes, I attended last
Were you there in the
I was
last?
there. Yeah, I was there.
Right. Okay, I was wrong. Anyone else who was not there in the last session and would like to go ahead and introduce themselves?
I wasn't. My name's Alexis, and I am majoring in graphic design and also minoring in digital marketing. And I actually found my passion for marketing recently, and that's why I decided to minor in it. So in this class, I just hope to learn more about marketing in general.
Welcome, Alexis. Stephanie, you have your video on. Hi. Were you there in the last class? You're muted. Can't hear you.
No, I was not in the last class.
Yeah, and would you like to introduce yourself, Stephanie?
Sure. My name is Stephanie, and I am an esthetician, and I'm in the digital marketing certification program. And after this quarter, I'll have one class left to complete it.
Awesome. That's great. Welcome, Stephanie. All right, so great. Anyone else I'm missing that would like to introduce?
I wasn't here in the last class. My name is Rhea, and I'm a sport management major specializing in communications and minoring in digital marketing because I want to be a social media manager for a sports team one day. And my expectation, I just want to learn more about marketing and how like I can reach my audience better and just learn the ins and outs of social media and like what sticks best with people. So yeah.
Awesome, welcome. Okay. Let's see. What else? I'm just kind of going between back and forth. All right, so just a quick summary from the Jan 7th class. We went over the Canvas course structure. So if you have any questions, please holler. I have uploaded a module which has all the which will house all the recorded lectures on Canvas, but each of the recorded lectures will also show up. This is for the U section, by the way, because we have asynchronous students there. The recorded lectures will show up like about 48 hours later. So just keep that in mind if you're doing it asynchronously. And I already talked about the attendance and participation points, DLP sections, attendance and participation for classes, attendance, participation activity. U section recorded lecture will be available for asynchronously. And for if you're joining synchronously or if you are doing in-class attendance and starting your participation, you have to submit the participation activity. You don't actually have to submit a recorded summary of the recorded lecture or anything. And assignments are generally due on Wednesdays. Yeah, and I usually, as you know, I've sent out reminders already. I tend to send out reminders if I see that folks have not submitted till like maybe by the evening or so. I'll send out a reminder saying, hey, today's the reminder, today's the deadline for submission. And I see there is someone else who came in Linwood who just joined.
Asta?
Asta, do you want to introduce yourself, Asta?
Sure. Hi, I'm Asta Yezna, and I'm a senior.
Sit, you can sit, you don't have to stand.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, my name is Asta, and this is my last quarter. I'm a senior.
Awesome, and what's your major?
What's that?
What's your major?
Oh, I'm a finance major.
You're a finance major, great. So you see, we have quite a few students from all over in digital marketing. And actually something that is, that talks about the versatility of digital marketing here. Okay, so in the Jan 7th class summary, if you have seen the recorded lecture, you'd know, but we covered quite a few topics. We talked about what is digital marketing. We talked about the difference between digital marketing and traditional marketing, the importance of data, privacy and personal data. We talked about that. And we talked about the rise of AI and oftentimes its conflict with sustainability. So if you haven't, I'm not going to go through any of this today, but if you have not gone through it and recorded lectures are available, especially for the U section, then please go through that. Go through the recorded lecture. At this point, before I go into the simulation overview, anyone have any questions? Right. Just know that if you have any questions whatsoever, please just either ask me or email me. I am very fast over email, so I'll respond to you. So just keep that in mind. Okay. So one of the things that I want to do right now is go through with you on the simulation. And how many of you here have actually registered for the simulation? Anyone? No one in Des Moines. Anyone in Linwood who have registered for the simulation? Salman? How about Zoom?
I registered.
Stephanie, you have?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've
Registered as
also
well.
registered.
Okay, all right. So let me just show you the simulation. That is a required part. So you have to either purchase that simulation on Student with your credit card, or the textbook also sells access codes. If you are for like financial aid and stuff like that, you need that. You can buy those access codes and you can use that access code to buy the simulation on this website, on the student website. Either ways, the simulation is completely digital and accessible through the student website. So just keep that in mind. So that's the link where you can actually, if you click and follow through, you'll see you can enter your email and you can join the course. You can enter with your CWU email, join the course. And once you join the course, you'll be asked whether you want to pay by credit card or whether you want to use an access code. And you should be, depending on whatever you're using. So let me just go through the simulation with you. Are you able to see the screen? On this?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the social media externship. That's the world's first social media marketing simulation. I have to say that from previous quarters, students really enjoy the simulation. It's a very realistic simulation of how social media marketing works. And it also has quite a large chunk on influencer marketing. So you'll be doing both in the simulation. So I'm going to launch Simsternship. I'm just signed up as a demo student, I guess. And what you first start off is you first start off with an overview. And that tells you what the simulation is about. So let me just play this video here.
Excuse me, I think the screen on our English is frozen. Yeah,
It's not. Okay, just tell me, right? Because otherwise I'm not, sometimes I don't see that. So just let me know if it's not sharing.
Well, are you sharing? Oh, there we go.
Are you able to see it now? Okay.
Yeah, that's the right one now.
Right. Yeah, the technology, we just have to navigate that a bit. All right. Let me just start that and you can tell me if you can hear.
Welcome to Mimic Social, the world's first social media marketing simulation. Social provides hands-on experience with multiple real-world social media marketing concepts. In this simulation, you play the role of a social media specialist at Bowie Supply Co. during the holiday season, when traffic from social media channels to Bowie's website is typically higher in response to holiday promotions. Each round focuses on specific tasks assigned to you by your boss at Bowie. As you progress through the simulation, you'll even have opportunities for advancement within the company that will test your social media marketing skills. Access to the rounds and activities within those rounds is handled primarily in the navigation on the left of your screen. Make sure to utilize the materials in your resource drawer to help you complete assignments. Each round includes a video introduction from your supervisor. Each of these introductions provides an overview of what you will accomplish in the round. After you've completed all of the assignments in a round, submit your work by clicking the Run Simulation button. You'll then receive industry standard analytics on your social media posts to help you gauge your performance and make data-driven decisions to improve your performance in future rounds. Make sure you take time to become familiar with the features of the simulation and remember to read instructions carefully. Enjoy your experience.
So, were you able to hear the video? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so this is basically what the social media simulation is about. It is, you are, in this case, what you're doing is you are taking up the role of a social media consultant, and you are the social media consultant for this brand called Boohee. And what does Boohee do? Boohee is basically all about bags and backpacks. Okay, and you're creating organic posts, you're creating paid posts, you are optimizing those posts, you're looking at the analytics, you are given a budget of $5,000 for each post. And from rounds 1 to 6, you are essentially dealing with social media marketing. From round 7 onwards, you are also doing influencer marketing, where you're negotiating with influencers in order to have a reach and reach your targets. Okay, so that's what the social simulation is about. Sharing. Are you able to see now? Are you able to see my screen? Guys,
Yes.
If you're looking at your slides, we can't see it. If you asking about like, if we see the app, yeah.
you're able to look at, right? Okay, yeah, that's what I wanted to show. Okay, so essentially what you are doing here is you have a number of, you have to go to the overview, which I just showed you the overview video. Definitely check your inbox for important communication from your supervisor, is your simulated supervisor, obviously. And then you have a video on Buhi. I'm not going to show you the video, but please go through it at your own pace. And it tells you Buhi is an e-commerce and retail bag supplier specializing in backpacks, purses, shells, and duffel bags. If it's a bag, Buhi makes it. Its goal is to find bags that resonate with design-conscious audience, manufacture them at affordable cost, and sell them for a profit at competitive prices. And it tells you about the core values. Why does it tell you about the core values? You have to integrate all of this when you're working on the organic social media post and you're working on paid post and so on and so forth. It also gives you resources. For example, the Buhi social media brand guide. Definitely go through that because that will tell you the different, how Buhi has tried to market itself through social media. Before, it tells you about brand personality. For example, Buhi Boys refers to the distinct personality, style, and tone that we use to communicate with our audience. So that is really about segmentation and targeting. It tells you about authenticity, the human factor that that Buhi is all about. And yeah, and essentially just go through each of these resources here. Gives you the market information, what are the products that are available, and that will be marketed. It also tells you your target market, and there are quite a few personas. We are going to talk about audience and personas in the next class in more detail, but essentially tells you what is segment, each segment being represented by a particular persona. So for example, energetic Jill, percentage of the market is 13%, age is 18 to 27, gender is female, income is $20,000 to $30,000. Interest, Jill is a sporty fitness enthusiast who spends her free time teaching dance lessons or attending aerobics and yoga classes. Now, it is up to you how you want to, which persona, which target you want to cater to, right? So, and it's okay to choose a target and then decide that you want to shift to a different target because it's all about learning by doing. That's what the simulation is about. The analytics tab gives you a summary of different KPIs for the different channels. So you can look at Facebook, Twitter, of course, as we know, Twitter has changed its name, but anyway, but go ahead with that. You have Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, TikTok. These are the different channels available to you. And then you're provided a budget. And when they say weekly, the week is really determined by, it's in the simulation, right? So you can work 3 weeks in 1 day. Like it's a simulation. It's not like, I know the students in the past have asked me, well, you know, it's a week. Does it mean that I can only spend the whole week on 1 week in the simulation? No, the time in the simulation is the time in the simulation. You can decide to complete 5 rounds. Each round is 1 week, 5 rounds in 1 day. I don't recommend it, but you can. Okay, so definitely go through the various aspects of the budget here as well.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
So I was looking at the syllabus. It says to like take screenshots because you can't go back on rounds, right? So I was wondering like, did you want us to like screenshot our results of each round, or do you just want just screenshots as we go through the round?
So Dominic, thank you, because I would have brought it up right after. Take screenshots of everything, even the resources won't be available to you later. So download your resources, take screenshots of your analytics, take screenshots of your post. You don't have to take screenshots of all your posts, but you can take screenshots of some sample post, because you will see as you go through, and I'll go through the Canvas course too, which probably I'll do that next week. But essentially, I'll go to the progress report. You'll have to do a progress report after round 6, and you'll have to complete round 6 by the progress report time. And by the finals week, you would have to do the final report. And each of the reports are individual, but there are questions in there where you would have to interact, you would have to work with your classmates to kind of discuss strategies and stuff. Okay, so take screenshots as much as possible of everything, because once you go, if you pass around, you won't be able to go back. I can actually get you back, but then you lose all your work. So again, take screenshots of your analytics, and then take screenshots of your organic post, your paid post, whatever you do. Take some samples. I'm not saying take everything, but take some samples.
Okay, thank you.
And definitely screenshots of whatever you choose to write in your report. It's always a good idea to do that. If there is a post that is performing really well, you should definitely take a screenshot of that. If there is a post that is not doing well and you have talked about it and you have said, hey, this, because there is a section, I think, which says, what did you learn? And there, the fact that you did not do well in a particular post is really informative. So take a screenshot of that as well. So use your judgment on what to take the screenshots, but those have to be relevant to the final report that you write. Okay. And the reports, the progress report and the final report instructions, I think, are already on your Canvas account. I'm not going to go through that today, but I will go through that next week. Does that make sense? Other questions? Fun. I do have to say though, the first 2 or 3 rounds, you will make a lot of mistakes. That's okay. You will be like, what the hell am I doing here? And that's okay. A lot of it is learning by trial and error, and then trying to figure out, well, what is working? What are the patterns? What is the analytics telling me? How do I look at analytics of rounds 1 and 2 and then improve in rounds 3? How can I look at my budget? What is making the most impact in terms of how I invest my budget? So those are some of the questions, and we'll go over some of that today and in the next class as well. So it would be helpful as you think through what we are discussing in class and then applying it for the simulation as you think about a framework for the simulation. And there is a ranking. So you are able to see how you're ranked with your peers, but really I don't grade you on your rank. But it is what I'm really looking for is how you are improving yourself over time. So your competition is yourself. Okay, but you will be able to see how you are ranking against your peers. Okay, so that is the simulation. And what the simulation is really doing is essentially exposing you to some of the factors like digital marketing goals, which we will be going over today, the analytics that comes with any kind of digital marketing campaign, and a continuous improvement and feedback. Because you are using what you're doing in your previous rounds, how you're doing in your previous rounds, and then using that information to improve in the next round, hopefully. Plus, you're also, of course, talking about some of the most basic marketing concepts like segmentation and targeting. You are actually implementing that in a social media landscape. You're using aspects such as buyer persona, which we are going to talk about in the next class. You're going to do A/B testing, which is like testing two versions of the same ad, for example, or two versions of a similar post, and seeing which one does better. We are going to talk about KPIs and metrics, and you're going to implement that in the simulation. You're going to delve deep into social media marketing, content marketing, and influencer marketing, and you're going to understand how budgeting gets done. So a lot of concepts gets covered through the simulation. All right, before I go into my next part, questions?
I have a question. So for like, I know you said that we're completing this like at our own pace, but is there like a certain point where we should have like the like progress report done and then like the final report? Like, is there like a certain point in the quarter?
Right. So if you look at your syllabus, and I don't have the syllabus in front of me, I guess I could just go to your Canvas and show that to you. I have to just stop share and go to your Canvas module. If you go to your syllabus right here. Your progress report is due on Tuesday, Feb 18th. And by that time, you would have to complete 6 rounds of the simulation because the progress report is based on 6 rounds of the simulation. And your final report is due, and I believe there are like 13 rounds, 13 or 14 rounds. You have to complete all the rounds of the simulation by March 18th, which is the finals week, and you have to submit your final report. Does that answer your question, Raya?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. And since I'm on Canvas, I might as well show it to you. Go on to modules here. And this is, I'm looking at the D section. U section will have similar. You should be able to see there is a simulation progress report, instructions and grading rubric, and the social media simulation final report, instructions and grading rubric. I would go through this, but I want you to first register and kind of at least go through, kind of figure out the simulation a little bit before. So if you can do that by next week, that would be great, because then I can actually go through these 2 rubrics, instructions and rubric, in the next class. Right. Other questions? All good? Clarifications? Online, my Zoom students, all good?
Yes, all good.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'm just trying to be intentional because I know I have so many different, like, it's also like a juggling act for me. So I'm just trying to kind of make sure that I'm attentive. Not missing out. Okay. All right. So I'll go on to our topic for today, which is essentially digital marketing strategy. Really important for, of course, just overall, how digital marketing fits into overall marketing in general, but also important as you go through your simulation, and super important for those who are taking marketing 476 in spring, because we usually tend to have a live client where you are working on a digital marketing strategy for a live client. So again, super important. Right. So digital marketing strategy, as I said, has it's super important for your simulation as well as for marketing 476. And there are four key aspects to digital marketing strategy. Number one are goals. Number two is the audience. Number three is the budget. And number four is metrics. Okay. And I also have a cool website here that you can take a look, and you'd be able to see, you'd be able to actually go through and read at your own pace. So So what do we mean by goals? When we talk about goals, what we really mean is, as a business, you're asking yourself the question, what do you want to do? Why are we doing a strategy in the first place? Okay. So for example, a goal could be, I want to increase awareness of my brands. All right. If you are an individual accountant starting, or if you are planning to set up a small clothing store, for example, and you want to establish yourself and you want to have a digital marketing strategy, you start with, well, why do we want digital marketing? What is it that we want to get out of it? Do we want to increase awareness? Do we want to have more customers, like actually paying customers? Two very different goals. So you really have to start with that awareness first. What is it that you want out of a strategy? And when we think about goals, oftentimes businesses run into a problem, and that is they're too broad and too abstract. When you think about goals, think about what we call SMART goals. Have you guys heard about SMART goals from other classes? You have, right? So the whole idea about SMART goals is, SMART goals has to be specific, it has to be measurable, it has to be achievable, it has to be relevant, and it has to be timely. Okay. Now, if I'm starting off at, if I'm a clothing manufacturer and I'm starting out, and my goal is to, well, I'm going to take on the Levi's, brands of the world. Now, that's not a very achievable goal. You have to understand what you want. You have to be very clear about what you want, because otherwise everything else falls flat. Without understanding, without having a direction of where you want your digital marketing to go, everything else just doesn't make sense. So example of a SMART goal is Coca-Cola's goal is to increase brand engagement by 25%, and it provides a measurable benchmark. So it's very specific. It's saying by 25%. Okay, very specific. It is measurable. You're able to measure whether the brand engagement indeed increased by 25%, or did it overshoot, or did it underperform. It is relevant, obviously. Is it achievable? And is it timely? We are not able to figure out from here because it doesn't give that information here. If you want to make this goal into a timely goal, how would you reframe this goal? How would you reframe it? How would you reword this goal in order to make it timely? Anyone?
You could say it could increase brand engagement by 25% in the next by the next quarter.
Bingo. Right? You can have a time attached to it, and that time doesn't just come ad hoc. Obviously, it comes by consultations with the marketing team. You're talking with your brand management team. You're talking with your marketing team. You're talking with your sales team. I mean, it's a conversation that you have. The chief marketing officer, if there is a chief marketing officer, or the marketing lead is having that conversation and coming up with these goals by having a consultation and collaboration with their own team. It doesn't happen overnight. It's not like the CMO gets up the next morning and says, hey, I want to increase 25% in like the next quarter. At least it shouldn't be. Can happen. Sometimes they'll just say it. They'll be like, hey, team, this is, we want to increase 25% in the next 20 days. The CMO can say that. And of course, then it's a job of the marketing team to come back and say, hey, we need more time, and having that negotiation conversation. So audience is your next component of a digital marketing strategy. And this is essentially targeting and segmentation in just very basic terms. Who are your current and potential customers? How can you tailor messaging? These are the two aspects of your audience. We will be looking into audience profiling, personas, customer journeys in more detail in the next class, but you will be delving a lot more into it when you're doing your social media marketing simulation. So, for example, Coca-Cola focuses on Gen Z globally. That's your audience in this case. Using social media campaigns and video storytelling, those are the channels, and your messaging to engage this audience. That's just an example of audience and messaging. So digital channels provide a treasure trove of customer data to get insights about the audience. And what's that information? We have gone over this in the last class, but I will go over this again because it's really important. Are you able to all see the infographic?
You haven't like clicked on it for us yet. So if you're trying to share it, we can see it.
You're not able to see that, right? Not yet.
Yeah.
All right, so this is where is the data from digital coming from? In the digital world, unlike in traditional marketing, you get really fine-grained information about your audience because everything's tracked and you have so much data. And this is where we say, you hear about big data and so on and so forth. And this is where all of this comes from, right? So every minute of the day, you are talking about data like Siri answers, over 1 million questions in a minute. People do 5.9 million Google searches. Netflix subscribers stream 362,000 hours in 1 minute. 18.8 million text messages sent in every minute of the day. So can you imagine the amount of data that is available for marketers? For marketers, data is a new oil. It's like oil, essentially, right? Because the more fine-grained you can get about the data, the more and the more data you can have, you are able to craft very, very specific personas about your target audience. No longer are we talking about the average audience. We are talking about every single individual and being able to hone into that target at a very, very granular level. And why do you think granular segmentation is so important? Granular targeting is so important. How would that help? Someone from Des Moines or Linwood, someone from the U section already answered my last question. Why do you think granular segmentation and targeting is so important? How would that help?
So it's gonna help our like business focus on the right audience and like not wasting time to like approaching the other one who doesn't need it.
So you are saying, can you say that again? Sorry, I missed that.
So like segmentation and targeting is important because like we gonna select our audience or like our customer that who needed our products, and we're not gonna waste time for people who like don't really need it.
So segmentation and targeting is really important because we know who our customers are. We are not wasting our very hard-earned budget, especially in this whole time. I mean, marketing, everyone understand every team is scrambling for budget. So you need to invest your budget very wisely. So you don't want to invest your budget on people who are not going to be interested in your brand in the first place. But even more than that, when you're talking about segmentation, fine granular segmentation and targeting, you are able to craft your messages so you can fine tune your messaging such that you're able to say, Harry, I'm going to show you, if I was Netflix, I could tell you that, hey, you watched this particular movie in the last week. Therefore, we think that these are the movies you'll be interested in. Right? How many of you have seen an ad that seems to show up and you're like, holy moly, that brand really knows me. Right? So it's all about personalization. Right? You're able to provide very personalized messages to your customers and to your consumers. That's really important. So having said that, you want your audience and the channels to which you reach your audience to be aligned with each other, right? So if your audience is spending most of their time on TikTok, you don't want to use LinkedIn to reach your audience, okay? So your audience and your channels should be really aligned with each other. A lot of times, this is where companies fail. They don't really understand where their audience is. They don't understand what their audience prefers. And therefore, they invest their budget, hard-earned budget, on channels that their audience is not really kind of aligned with. And this is something that you have to, as a social media marketer in the simulation, you really have to think through, because you have a number of different target personas in your simulation. You'd have to figure out where those personas are in terms of the channels that are provided to you, because you only have $5,000 to distribute between the various channels. And you have to actually figure out, well, looking at the analytics, looking at your audience behavior and so on and so forth, you'd have to figure out, well, where do I want to invest in? If your audience is on TikTok, or if your posts are performing better on Instagram, then that's something that you want to amplify. Okay, so it's all about how do you wisely distribute your budget. So next comes this whole idea of digital marketing strategy and budgeting, which is investing in high impact channels. So channels that provides you with the most impact. And I'll talk a little bit more about what I mean by impact. Evaluating return on investment, that is one way in which impact is measured, is how much return are you getting on your investment in those channels. So for example, Coca-Cola dedicates $5 million to influencer partnerships and digital ads to maximize their reach. So that is just an example of how much budget, in this case, $5 million, and they are spending it on very specific types of channels, in this case, influencers and digital and paid advertising, in order to maximize, in order to reach their marketing goals. In this case, their marketing goal is to have as large reach as possible. Reach means as many customers. They want to spread their awareness to as many customers as possible. So in terms of digital marketing strategy, the next part of it is KPIs and metrics, and how are those different from goals? This is really important because goals are really your broad strategic objectives. So your business goal could be increase market share by 10% in the next 3 years. Your marketing goals are more specific to marketing. So increasing brand awareness by 20% in the next 6 months. That is a much more, it's an example of a SMART goal for marketing. KPIs are specific measurable values that indicate how effectively marketing efforts are achieving your marketing goals. So they are able to track your progress towards your goal. So if your specific marketing goal is increasing brand awareness by 20% in the next 6 months, your KPI, or also called key performance indicator, is tracking your website traffic growth in the next 6 months. If your website traffic growth is increasing, then you know that your brand awareness is also increasing in some ways. So that's tracking your progress towards the marketing goal. And your metrics are quantitative data points to measure and analyze marketing performance. And that is, for example, the number of social media likes and shares. That could be a metric. Okay. One of the key KPIs, and I talk about that, you'll see that in 9 resources also, is what we call the conversion rate. And what is a conversion rate? A conversion is an action that's counted when someone is interacting with your ad or free product listing. For example, is clicking on a text ad or viewing a video ad, and then taking an action that you have defined as valuable to your business. So for example, an online purchase or calling your business from a mobile phone, right? So for example, how many of you click on an ad? Have you clicked on an ad but never purchased something? Right? In that case, from a business's perspective, that may not be counted as a conversion, because a lot of people might be clicking on ads but may not actually convert to an actual customer. So conversion rate is really important. This is something that you're going to look at in your simulation also. They're going to provide you data on conversion rates. And conversions are measured with conversion tracking. Google Analytics, for example, if Google Analytics is on your website, it's tracking website visits. It's tracking from where those people are coming in to your website. And it's also tracking if people are coming into your website and actually ending up purchasing something. So you're able to track conversions. You're able to actually, you're able to set Google Analytics such that you have Google Analytics track how many people are coming in and how many people are actually converting. And in this case, you define what a conversion is. It could be purchase if you are simply interested in increasing leads for your brand. You're not really interested in purchase. You're interested in having an increased leads. Then it could be people who are downloading a form, right? So again, it depends on what you as a marketer define as a conversion. A conversion is not necessarily always a purchase. A conversion could be how many people submitted their information because they're interested in my service. How many people downloaded a white paper? So again, a conversion is something that you determine based on your marketing goal. So let's say, just to give you an idea, let's say the marketing goal is increasing website sales by 20% in the next 6 months. That's your marketing goal. The conversion rate would be the percentage of website visitors who make a purchase. So, and that is, the formula for that is number of purchases on the website divided by number of total website visitors multiplied by 100, because it is always expressed as a percentage. And in this case, the KPI is a conversion rate. Why? Because it is directly measuring your progress towards the website sales, which is your marketing goal. Yeah. So a metric could be shopping cart abandonment rate or it could be total Instagram followers. Now you tell me, based on the marketing goal and the KPI, marketing goal is increasing website sales by 20% in the next 6 months. KPI is a conversion rate, which is number of purchases, a percentage of website visitors who make a purchase. Tell me, between shopping cart abandonment rate and total Instagram followers, which is the relevant metric here? Des Moines, you have to go this time because Linwood already talked. U section already talked. You tell me what is the relevant metric based on the goal and the KPI? Which is more relevant?
Abandonment rate.
Why? You're right. You're correct. Why?
And Instagram followers is irrelevant.
The Instagram followers is irrelevant. Why? What?
Because our goal is to track the website sales, not the
Right.
reach investment.
Absolutely. So Harry in Des Moines is telling me that the relevant metric here is the shopping cart abandonment rate. Why? Because that is directly related to the marketing goal. If visitors are abandoning their shopping carts after they put products in the cart, that is a friction to achieve your goal, your marketing goal, which is increasing your website sales by 20% in the next 6 months. It is also the reason why your conversion rate is probably lower than what you want. And so you need to focus on how do I reduce the shopping cart abandonment rate. On the other hand, total Instagram followers may not be relevant because Instagram followers can grow your follower count, but that doesn't mean that they are all purchasers of your product or they're even visiting your website. Okay, so again, your goal and KPI is intricately tied. Your metric could be tied, could be very relevant. For example, in this case, the shopping cart abandonment rate is a very relevant metric. Total Instagram followers, we call them vanity metrics because they don't play a key role for your marketing goal. We call them vanity metrics because they're good to have, but they really don't say much. Yeah. So, some questions about this? Let me play this video on that I wanted to show you on marketing KPIs. That is, what is return on investment? This is really kind of an important budgeting question. I know people who are in finance probably already know what a return on investment is. It's really important for marketing. It's a financial metric for marketers. They really need to understand what a return on investment is on what they are spending their budget on. So this is just an example. Are you able to see the video here?
Yeah, no, I think you need to swap it from the Linwood to that screen or for the video that you're showing.
I think when I swap it, that's when it just stops sharing. Okay.
I see. But yeah, we're still on the slides.
Okay, yeah.
Not the video.
Now you're able to see, right? The Harvard.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Understanding return on investment is vital in business. Using it, you can justify projects you want to launch, gain insight into team performance, and identify which initiatives to prioritize or put on hold. Return on investment, or ROI, is a financial metric that denotes how much profit an investment has generated. ROI comes in two forms depending on when you calculate it: anticipated and actual. Anticipated ROI is calculated before a project begins and gauges its potential profit using estimated costs and revenues. Actual ROI is computed after a project concludes and indicates how much profit it produced compared to the estimate. The most common formula for calculating ROI is net profit divided by the cost of investment multiplied by 100. A positive return means a project's revenue is greater than its cost. A negative return means the opposite. If a project breaks even, then its revenue matches its expenses. Making smart decisions about when and where you allocate resources can accelerate business growth. Leveraging ROI, you can evaluate projects and advocate for why you should or shouldn't pursue them. You can also measure the outcomes of completed initiatives to inform future proposals. If you want to learn more about return on investment and how to use.
So this is just an example of return on investment broadly as it is applicable for business in general. For marketing, how do marketers use return on investment? Marketers use return on investment when they're investing in a particular marketing effort and or they're investing in a particular marketing channel. For example, I'm investing on social media marketing. And I think there is something on the chat. I'll look at the chat. But anyways, maybe you're investing on social media marketing, and then in that case, what is the return that you're getting? What are the profits that you're making on that particular campaign or that particular channel? Right. So again, return on investment is a really critical factor because it helps you with budgeting. At the end of the day, it's all about budgets. How do you distribute your budget well? And the assumption is that because digital marketing is privy to so much data, you should be able to figure out your budget well. Okay, you should be able to, you should be able to get a high return on your investments. Right? So having said that, what the chat is saying, guys, we have a in-class activity after this. Do you want to take a break and come back at 7? It's 6:46. Yeah, take a 10-minute break and come back at 7. We'll start at 7. I also have a quick question for folks who are in the P and in Linwood and Des Moines. Does it make sense for me to upload the recorded lectures after?
Yes.
Okay, I will then start putting. That doesn't mean that you don't attend on campus because we have, but you would have to, but I will start posting on your recorded lectures. It's 7 o'clock, so I'm gonna just start up. So I have a class activity on matching marketing goals with the associated KPIs. What you would have to do is match marketing activities with the KPIs and then talk about why those two are aligned or matched together, right? So if you have teams of like 2 to 3 people in Linwood, you can do that. In Des Moines, you can do the same for teams. And then you're going to report out for the folks who are online. I am going to put you in a breakout room. So I'm just gonna do that.
Professor, are we supposed to see something on the screen right now? Or are you saying it up?
We'll put that up. Just trying to put the breakout rooms.
Oh, okay. I would want to join.
Yeah, was there a question or something?
Oh, yeah.
There was a question?
Yeah.
What's that?
So
Oh,
like,
just join.
yeah. That's my idea.
Join a breakout room and ask them if they have. They are not able to see my screen.
Jen, your phone is like right there. It's so bad.
Okay, so share. So I'm going to put it in chat. Essentially, what you guys are doing is you're going to match the sample marketing goals to the KPIs. So you have a list of marketing goals here, and you're going to match it with the KPIs and give a reason why you have that match. Okay, so there are 3 highlighted ones that you're going to focus in class, and then the rest you're going to submit the assignment anyways. So I'm going to put this in chat so that you are able to.
So like, let's do like 1, 2, 5. Then like we'll just do like these are like 1, 2, 5. And we can just match them. These are numbers. These are numbers. So.
So your marketing goals are provided to you and your key performance indicators are provided to you. So you have to match the most relevant key performance indicators with the marketing goals and then talk about why you thought that was the most relevant key performance indicator. And it can be more than one. So I'm going to just go into the breakout rooms and then just put it in chat in the breakout room. So give me a minute.
Yes. You know, okay, let's skip. Oh, yeah. Yeah, these four. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, you're right. Then, like, you rate. Either, that's four. Yeah. Yeah. Versus rate.
Yeah.
Maybe. Where can you find them?
Oh, because we took a picture.
Oh, I see. I'm like, how did they have
Sorry.
it?
Okay, if you want, I can. Anna?
Yeah.
Okay, I just send this to your Marco.
Alright.
Yeah, that's the picture. I just copy it.
Alright, thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Definitely not 45. No, I think you actually.
Yeah, that was just like really sign up or something
Because you.
like
Yeah.
You need a mascot. Stand outside. Stand outside. Or brand awareness. You need a mascot. You know, very good Disneyland. You see,
For sure. That's true.
he's wearing a costume. So mascot fits for her. You need a mascot of our own. A cartoon. Like a real one? Yeah. You think maybe I don't have a cartoon come and huh? You just stand there.
That's all. Okay, let's do this picture. So it's either 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we have there's.
eight.
match, you want to match these one, right?
No.
And right and go. And work on each of them. Boost social media.
Customer retention. Yeah, it's a customer.
So you have to
No,
do one
it's like,
for.
like, just one, when you're
Yeah,
doing
let's
the
do
customer,
it. Yeah, with the first
figure out
one.
like how to increase customer retention.
Maybe that could be. Social media, increase brand awareness.
Right.
Customer journey.
Yeah, I think she like put us into a room ourselves.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, and then like she.
Yeah, but no, she said that she gonna send only like the people who on Zoom into the break, so they can discuss.
I think she.
Linwood,
Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, we're good. For us at least.
questions? Yeah. So I will, maybe 10 minutes, for you guys, or you guys are ready?
Adam, you.
We're not. No.
Okay, we're not ready.
You're not ready? Okay. So maybe another 10 minutes because the breakout rooms, they'll need some time. I just went in and give them their assignment. So around 7:25.
Trinity, Trinity.
Yeah, there was it.
CTO.
Yeah.
We're supposed to run product. You wouldn't hear that. But, like, I wasn't either.
Oh, good.
So I guess that's-
What do you think?
Like, so we had to do like a summary.
The highlighted ones are the ones that.
Oh, no, I didn't.
From last. No, she sent me. No. Yeah, this was what I sent. Last week she sent like,
Yeah.
you were talking about stuff. So I think it's-
Yes.
We had to watch. And do the.
Do more reviews.
Do that for sure. I think that's what we do. I mean. Pretty much.
Maybe I have to meet like comments.
Yes, she, I think
Oh, never mind.
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm sure it's. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all the questions.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
so you just need to do that.
Yeah, you just download it and then write out your answer and submit it.
Would you do something?
Hey. Vui vậy. Let's see.
That's so confusing. That's so confusing.
Fine, are you guys done?
Yeah, yeah.
And Greenwood is done. Okay, let me go and check whether the breakout rooms are done or not. Oh, my juggling.
It's like I'm just gonna play that.
Some of the breakout rooms are still working, so take a few times. Are you able to figure out now what we mean by marketing goals, KPIs, and what the difference is between the two? Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
This is a really important concept actually, because you're going to see this everywhere when it comes to digital marketing. Any kind of strategy piece, you're going to see this over and over again. And go ahead and register for your simulation also, so that we are able to kind of dive a little bit deeper into the simulation. Few more minutes and we'll then close all the rooms.
Yeah, I looked at it. I didn't know. Answer this question. Yeah.
Just go to the link and modules. Scroll down all the way. Get those slots and take Windows, $72. Say, what's that?
Sure, it's not tax.
No, it was six, it was, you see? Sure.
No, it's a tax. It's literally just tax.
How much you got? 80?
Yeah, it's tax. The bottom, I mean, that's fine. Too. I mean, yeah. You can click on it.
Okay. I think everyone is back in the main session. So the activity was looking at matching your sample marketing goals and the KPIs. And there were 3 goals that I asked you to focus on for the class, but I know that some of you talked about KPIs and the different KPIs that are there. For example, churn rate, and you weren't sure what churn rate is. Totally legend. So we'll talk about churn rate a little bit. So the 3 marketing goals that I asked you to discuss in class was increase brand awareness, generate leads for a new product, and boost social media engagement. Now for your class activity, when you submit it on Canvas next week, you would be doing all of these, okay? But just for today's class, I'm just asking you to focus on 3 of them. There are 2 some of them are self-explanatory. When you look at key performance indicators, number of social media followers gained, you kind of know what that means. Email signups, you know what that means. What is a customer churn rate? A customer churn rate is basically customers who have left divided by the total customers who started with your brand. That's the churn rate, right? So if you started with 10 million customers and 2 million customers left your brand and switched to another brand, then 20% is your churn rate. Does that make sense? So if you had customers who stopped using your product, or if you had customers who switched to another brand, let's say you started with 10 million customers, but only 2 million left your product and stopped using your product, then that is the churn rate. Does that kind of make sense? What a churn rate is, Stephanie? I know you guys were discussing it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And there is another one that is kind of a little bit off, like website page views. You kind of know what that is. Average engagement rate, likes, comments, shares. Click-through rate, what is a click-through rate? It's the number of people who clicked on an ad divided by the number of people who actually saw your ad, which is called impressions, multiplied by 100. And we'll talk a little bit more about all of this when we do analytics. But it kind of, you can't talk about digital marketing strategy and books and all that without having some analytics in it. So you will see it again. When you're doing your simulation, you'll see it again when we are talking about analytics in another class. Hashtag usage frequency is how many times the hashtag has been used and shared and so on and so forth. That conversion rate, we talked about conversion rate in detail. So having said that, let's talk about increasing brand awareness. What key performance indicators did you have? Who is going to start? Let's start with Des Moines. What did you guys have? And I know there are like 2 teams. So let's ask each of the teams. increasing brand awareness, what KPIs did you attach to it?
Shows the number of social media followers gained because the more people know things.
Okay, and yeah. So Des Moines said increasing brand awareness, one of the key performance indicators that they attached or associated with increasing brand awareness is number of social media followers gained. And they said the more number of social media followers gained, it suggests there is increasing awareness because they are following your brand on social. And therefore, there is an increased awareness of your brand because they are also more likely to go to your website, check out your brand, and so on and so forth. So yeah, so that is definitely increased brand awareness. Who else had number of social media followers gained as a KPI for increasing brand awareness? What about the other group in Des Moines? What did you guys have for increasing brand awareness? What was the KPI?
Email sign up.
Email sign up?
Sometimes, not sometimes, but often they send an email to sign up for insurance services through my email. Or even I never heard. Yeah.
Oh, that thought. Okay. So the other group had email signups. What about Linwood? What did you guys have, Linwood? You have two teams there. What did you guys have?
So for increased brand awareness, we chose that like the number of social media followers gained as like a KPI.
Yeah, we did the same. We chose the same.
Okay, so social media followers gained, then what was the reasoning?
Due to the more people that followed, the more we have the right customers for our business that want to follow us and look at after our brand, what different products we are launching.
Okay, all right. What's the other group? What did you guys have?
We just said that we pick A.
The first one.
The first one, yeah, for number one. Or the increase.
Yeah, followers. You also had social media followers, okay. What about the online folks? What did you guys have? Let's see, Alexis. What did you guys have for brand awareness?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes.
For brand awareness, I'm trying to remember which ones we did. It was the social media followers and the sorry, I'm trying to remember. Brand awareness. And the hashtag usage as well.
And why did you have the hashtag usage?
Sorry, that one was probably fit better with the social media engagement.
Had that for the social media engagement, all right. What about Hania, your group? What did you guys have?
We also said the number of social media followers and the hashtag usage.
Why did you have the hashtag usage?
Oh, because multiple people use it to like reach like multiple people.
Okay,
And like if you write in the social media that hashtag, it shows you like multiple videos of that product or that content.
Okay, hold that thought. What about Stephanie's group? Starla, Stephanie? What did you guys have? Raya?
We said the website page views also would be good for increased brand awareness because the more people that come to your website, the more people that become informed of your brand.
Okay. All right. So what I'm hearing is most of you had social media followers gained, and that is completely, accurate way of saying, well, that suggests that there is an increased brand awareness because a growing follower count on social media would indicate that more people are becoming aware of the brand on social media platforms, right? Here is why email sign up is not exactly at the brand awareness stage. An email sign up suggests, because email sign up was one of the KPIs that was suggested by one of the Des Moines teams. And here is why it is much more, an email sign up is much more about a little bit later when customers are already aware. It suggests that the brand already have the email addresses of those customers in order for them to send an email out. So that is a little bit later in the customer funnel. If you think about awareness, and we haven't talked about that really per se, but when you talk about awareness, consideration, so on and so forth, it suggests that you are actually showing customers, you are asking customers to take an action. Versus brand awareness is when you're trying to purely increase your familiarity of the brand with people who don't know your brand at all, almost. That's why hashtag usage is also a very appropriate KPI for brand awareness, because the more hashtag you are sharing, the more hashtag you're using, you're able to increase your reach across to more customers. Because at the awareness stage, you're trying to make as many customers as possible become familiar with your brand. Okay, email is a little bit down the funnel. And that's why website traffic also is a little bit after the funnel, because it suggests that people have to visit your website first. So either they already know your brand and then they visit your website. So think about it, right? If you didn't know what CWU is, the likelihood that you'll be visiting a CWU website is low, right? You're going to visit a CWU website when you already are aware what Central Washington University is, right? Whereas if you are following, a social media, you're watching, you're seeing a follower, you're increasing, you have some count that is increasing on your CWU brand. Maybe there is an influencer who you're following who is actually sharing some information about CWU. For example, hypothetically, we don't have an influencer, I don't think. And you're following that influencer and you get aware and you become aware of the CWU brand, then that is an example of increasing brand awareness. Okay, so again, some of them do match up to multiple marketing goals, but in this case, the most appropriate and the most kind of aligned KPIs with the brand awareness would be the number of social media followers gained and also the hashtag usage, because it suggests that you are increasing your awareness with that hashtag with multiple people. Let's see whether I have anything else in my notes. All right, generating leads for a new product. Linwood, can one of you talk about what you had?
We chose B for email signups.
Why?
Just because when they buy a product, potentially, they are interested in more products. So, so maybe depending like on what they buy, and what led to the email sign up, it could potentially like, show the company what they're interested in. So we could take that data and then translate it to a new product.
Okay. Yeah. What's the other team? The other team, what did they have? Two and choose.
Repeat purchase rate is our answer for this Question?
Repeat purchase rate for generating leads?
No.
Hold that thought. Online, what do you have? Stephanie's group, what did you have for generating leads for a new product? Did you guys go
We
to that?
had email sign up as one, but we also had customer churn rates.
Okay. Tell you why that would be appropriate more for another goal. What about Alex's team? What did you guys have?
We have their email size up and conversion rate.
Conversion rate, okay. Okay. Hold that thought. Hania's team, what did you guys have? Evie, Hania.
Evie was in my team.
Yeah. What did you guys have for generating leads?
Oh, we said email signups and the conversion rate.
Oh, you talked about conversion rate. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
What's the third team that I'm missing? Am I missing anyone online? Not, but Des Moines, what did you guys have?
Release for new products. We customer churn rate and repeat purchase rate.
Okay, what about Long? What did you guys have, Long?
Same thing.
Same thing. A lot of you talked about churn rate and repeat purchase rate. Leads. A lead is not a customer. And repeat purchase rate is not only about customers, but it's about repeat customers. And churn rate is about customers who don't purchase anymore. They are just leaving your brand. So that is a much more appropriate KPI for customer retention, for improving customer retention. Okay, which you were not asked to discuss, but that's what it is, okay? But generating leads for a new product, it means that they have not turned into customers, but they are potential customers. So email sign up, if someone is actually signing up, you send a form and you're going and downloading a white paper, for example. Or if CWU is sending an email to the people who are signing up, and you are signing up, so that's a potential student. All right. So again, email sign up is a good KPI as well as a click-through rate. That's also a good KPI because it shows interested. For leads, you're talking about interested customers.
Sorry, what was the second KPI that was related to the goal?
Yeah, what's the second?
Was it repeat
What's the second
purchase?
KPI? It's click-through rate. Click-through rate. So I know a lot of you talked about conversion rates, but conversion rates are really about that's really at the end of that funnel. You not only have your leads, but you also have your customer actually achieving the goal that you want them to achieve. In which case, a lot of times conversion is a purchase. Conversion could also be downloading something. Yeah, for a lead. Yeah, conversion rate is actually it's also okay. But you have to really define what a conversion is for generating leads. Okay. And for boosting social media, what did I have? Average engagement rate, for example, likes, comments, shares, that's just kind of self-explanatory. And hashtag usage frequency, also a good KPI for boosting social media engagement. Okay, so those are the three. I have the other two as well. So when you submit your participation activity, just do all five. But yeah, like that's how you think about it, and it will become clearer because this sets you up for the next month. Is marketing customer journey. Yes. All right, guys, I see that you guys are getting a little antsy, but so we are almost done. We are almost at the end of class. And do you have, before I leave or before you guys leave, any other question? Stephanie, you have a chat. Stephanie, was that for me?
I just was saying that something that I read in the paperwork for this past week was that they discussed only using 3 to 5 hashtags in order to be effective, that it becomes less effective if you use more.
Right. And that's a great observation, because the more you use, that's oversaturated, you know, it's like people tune out or they think it's a spam or something. So 3 to 5 hashtags. Absolutely. I think that's a great thing. Hearing that. All right, guys. So that's all I have. We are almost at the end of class and not at the end of class actually. We'll see you next class, and we are going to talk much more about customer journey and so forth. If you have any questions, then follow. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Have a good night. You guys, bye.
Can I have a question?
Yes.
So are we able to see the PowerPoints that you just have on the Canvas, or is only the lecture recorded?
Also post the PowerPoint slides that I post after. PowerPoint slides I'll post very soon. That's already available to me. The recorded lecture will be available like 48 hours after. I don't get it before that. So
Thank you.
it will be available.
Question. Will the document that we need to fill out be posted? The one that you want us to submit via Canvas, will that be posted? Because I don't see a document that we need to fill out.
I'll write the other.
Yes, for the participation activity.
Just take a picture.
Yeah, for the partition activity, yeah, that you want us to submit.
The assignment for Jan 14th. Does that make sense?
What was that?
Yeah, I know, but I want to know the answer.
The assignment posted with a document under Jan 14th when I post. I have
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
document for Jan 7th already, right? On the attendance, yeah, similar. Other questions before you guys leave? Linwood, all good?
Can I see the other marketing goals?
Sorry.
Can I see the other marketing goals that we have to do for the assignment?
Right, so it will be in your slides, but it will also be, I'll post it as an assignment, so you should be able to see it in the assignment.
Oh, okay, thank you.
You have a question? Linwood, did you have a question?
Yeah, someone did.
So like for the one KPI can be into like more than 2 different goal, right?
For one goal, you can have more, yeah. So for one goal, yes, you can have more than one goal for one KPI or more than one KPI for one.
Okay, thank you.
Did you